So last day we had seen the volume of the human genome, and we had seen that mutation can occur at the rate of 1 into 10 to the power 9 nucleotides per DNA replication. And accordingly, the mutations might occur in the RNA level. So mutations always occur in the DNA level, but there might be post-translational modification. There might be changes in protein sequencing. So a lot of multifactorial phenomena occur to give rise to cancer. So this was discussed. This slide was discussed the last day. Now, this is a brief history of how the development of cancer has occurred through the past 2 centuries. In my first class with cancer, I had said that this dates back as old as Hippocrates, and the name was proposed by Hippocrates. Now, the particular topic came into focus with the Rudolf Virchow's chronic irritation theory. I'm going on looking into the mainly the stalwart works. Then came the famous work of Peyton Rous, the Rous sarcoma virus, the discovery of oncovirus. Then we moved down a bit further, and around 1941, the existence of chemical carcinogens which might induce cancer was proposed by Barenblum. And from 1941, we move further. From 1941, we move further down to 1982, where we are seeing a dynamic reciprocity of Bissell, and then the RSV mediated tumor formation, which was initially put forth in 1911 by Peyton Rous, was worked upon in 1984. In 2004, this was the first microenvironment targeting therapy with the discovery of Avastin. It's a chemotherapeutic drug. Down the line in 2005, the existence of pre-metastatic niche comes into being. So for second semester, this was just a brief in view of how the subject has developed from 1850 to 2022. Even though the subjects, there's another landmark finding in the field of cancer that was done by Folkman in 1971. The occurrence of this phenomenon, angiogenesis, or the formation of blood vessels. Now, as you can see down the line, this is a brief history about how this subject has developed. I'll not be getting into the details of this subject, development of the subject, because this is not a part of your syllabus. I just wanted to highlight the important discoveries that has happened throughout the development of this particular microevolutionary process. And in the year 2020, where we are standing, right now also we do not have a definite cure for any of the cancers that are presently we observe in different conditions. So till date, we do not have any definite cure. Now coming to the process of oncogenesis. Now oncogenesis means that there is a sudden change, a sudden mutation, a spontaneous change. The change can occur in the germline DNA that can be inherited, or the change can occur in the lifetime of one's lifetime. If the change occurs in the germline DNA, the DNA, germline DNA means that is inherited, that is to be inherited to the zygote, then what happens is that the cancers are congenital or hereditary, and the cancers are carried on to the next generation. However, due to any kind of somatic mutation, if a cancer arises, that remains restricted to one's lifetime. I'm again repeating, if a cancer arises as a result of a somatic mutation, for example, a sudden catastrophe, nuclear catastrophe, immediate due to the presence of nuclear radiations, a lot of cells gets abnormal, and a lot of people suffer from immediate cancer. That happened in Chernobyl disaster, that happened when in the Second World War after the Hiroshima bombing, and very recently that again happened in Japan when there is a nuclear leak from an atomic center. So these are somatic basically, but if the effect of the radiation is so huge that it affects the gonadal cells, then this kind of radiation induced damage in the gonadal cells